Hello everyone and welcome back to my video series on the Starship Troopers Terran Command Scenario Editor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the camera focus effect as well as how to set up some cinematic camera angles for your scenarios. And ultimately how to reset the camera to a standard player view. To start, we're going to need to set up a trigger with the camera focus effect. Next, we're going to select a location on the map we want the camera to focus on. Now we can adjust the speed on whether to be instantaneous or a set speed. And we can decide whether the player is allowed to control or cancel the camera movement until after the camera movement has completed. Next, if you want this to be a trigger that sets a starting camera angle at the start of a mission, then this is where we can change this on tick to on init. On init means it will trigger on initializing the scenario, loading up the scenario. That is really how simple the camera focus effect is.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Okay, now that we have the basics on how to create a camera focus, I want to dive into how to make a more cinematic angle and shots, like these examples from my own scenarios.
It's about to get real.
Sir! Tanker!
Coordinate a planet-wide evacuation. The bugs have been hitting Minkies hard for the last 2 weeks. Good work, Lieutenant. Major Bishop was very impressed with the way your people acquitted themselves in the field.
To accomplish these examples took a lot of trial and error, and only recently did I have the time to dig in and turn magic into science.
Yes, science!
To get started, we are going to want to review 3 options available that are normally ticked: facing, pitch, and zoom. Facing is the rotation angle the camera will be looking through. You can see how your game settings are set up to serve as a point of reference. For example, default camera rotation is -45. This is the default for all maps and recommended for general gameplay, otherwise it gets a little disorienting. This is a great reference point. This allowed me to build these charts here. You can use this chart on screen to reference a corresponding degree value with what the camera angle will result in. Here is an alternative chart if you need to read in positive numbers. Now, you can play with these charts and use them as reference to find a number and numbers in between to get the perfect angle for the effect you want. Pitch. Pitch is the angle of the camera from a top-down perspective. For example, we are currently viewing this map at 35 degrees. You can play with this angle as much as you want, although I tend to find close to ground shots look best between 5 and 15 degrees. Zoom, as implied, this controls the zoom amount for the camera and how close it will be to the focus point. This is very much up to you as far as what value you choose, but between 5 and 30 is a sweet spot for most cinematic effects. Now, to wrap it up, the last thing that you need to do is ensure that instant camera move is checked on. Otherwise, your configurations for facing, pitch, and zoom will have no effect. So, with that said, let's go ahead and make a camera angle. I'm going to set up a camera angle right here to look at these troopers. I'm actually going to move this camera angle just a little back and see them getting assaulted from a front point view. So to do that, I'm going to refer to my chart, and looks like 360 degrees is going to be my best result. The pitch, I'm going to want, for me personally, I'm going to go with 10. And for a zoom, I think about 30 will be fine for this, but I can play and tune as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and make this an OnInit trigger, and then let's see how it looks. So there we have it. We have an awesome camera angle here. So now this, as you can see, is not going to be the best view for gameplay. So now that we have our effect, I'm going to show you how to reset it. To reset a camera focus, what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the current camera focus, so that way it's on the same location. You're going to keep instant camera move off, and then you're going to use the following settings. Negative 45 degrees is the default camera angle for the editor. Pitch 35 degrees and zoom 70. These should give you the perfect recreation of the standard camera angle. Now, for my purpose, I want that to take effect after some units have been killed. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a trigger here really quick. All right. So now we have our starting camera angle, and as soon as those warrior bugs are dead, it should reset for us. And there we have it. We have our custom cinematic camera angle, and we have reset our camera angle into a playable state. Now, to show you how close or near exact this camera angle is, if you press the delete key on your numpad, it will reset the camera angle to the default game camera angle or the scenario camera angle. So I'm going to press it right now. You could see nothing happened. Those settings that I gave you to reset the camera angle is a perfect recreation of the default camera angle for the scenario. So you should be good to go with those settings. Again, if you've modified the game setting for the scenario and added a new custom default angle for the camera, you will need to make those adjustments. So that is all that I have for you today. Go forth, make those cinematics. Check out the Terran Command official Discord for any assistance, as well as my own Discord, both linked in the description below. Thank you.